Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. It might even be good night, depending on which part of the world you're watching this from right now. I'd like to welcome you all back to my channel, Simply Nino. And I am hoping by the grace of the Almighty, you are all doing great. I am doing okay, just trying to cope with this transition from summer to autumn. That is still okay. It's just the transition from autumn to winter that's going to be a bit of a struggle for me. But as long as we have life, love, there's always going to be light. So should I say that the same procedures every time? Yeah. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do subscribe for notifications and updates. And if you have subscribed and joining me back again for another video, welcome and thank you so much for the support. Today I'm going to talk about something like I just had this on my mind and I quickly wanted to share it quickly, as I always say. But before I share what I had on my mind, I want to give you sort of like a full story or break it down for the non-believers and believers of other faith. The difference between the Christians and the born-again Christians. Yeah, see, when we're born as Christians in Christian families, most people baptize their children by the time they turn two years old. Go to church, they put a bit of water, or the priest or reverend puts a bit of water on your head, and then you become a member of that church. And that means then you grow up in the church. Every Sunday you're in church and go through like Bible study, but it's just now a Sunday routine. For me, it was just a routine, not a lifestyle. I was born in a Christian family, and that's what happened to me. And most of my life, I was in church, and I will pick up the Bible. I would sit in during the service. I wouldn't really connect to the sermon at all. Not at all. I wouldn't understand. I would ask the pastors, priests, the Bible study leaders and groups. I couldn't get any answer that was sitting well with my spirit and gave me a sort of a satisfaction or fulfillment. For me, it took over 30 years, 35 years until I started to crave the face of the Almighty. I said that, I think I talked about that in one of my earliest videos, one of the first few videos. I spoke of how I asked pastors and nobody was telling me, until I started really craving him. I was now like, I felt so empty. And when I finally I could not find anyone, and just simply one night he awakened me. You see, the word of the Almighty says there's nothing new under the sun. Every situation, every problem, every situation, every battle that we go through, there's nothing new. It's just the same recycled problem from one individual to another, from one family to another. Divorce, for example. I am divorced, yeah, and how many people are divorced in this world? And I can sit with someone who's now going through a divorce, and I can sit and tell this person how I overcame that phase of being hurt, being afraid. And this person can overcome that, and one day when she's overcome it, she might have another friend going through a divorce. So that is an example of problems are just being recycled from one individual to another, one family to another. So the Almighty gave us advice, gave us laws, gave us methods on how to deal with situations in this world and persevere through every dark phase or season we're going through. And it is in the Holy Scriptures. It is in the Bible, the Torah. Yeah. And if you're not able to open any of these books and really find advice or find a method of how to overcome a situation, then you will have a serious problem. Many people today are on antidepressants. Many people end up in jail. Many people are paying thousands, a lot of money to go through therapy, to go and sit in front of a human being and tell them their problems. And you find it's something that will now become part of you, going for therapy, antidepressants. Some people are on alcohol because they cannot deal with situations in their life. If only they could connect to their Creator, for Him to awaken them to understand the Holy Scriptures, everybody would not be in some positions they are today. Yeah, some situations they are today. So the difference between the Christians is like the Christians, you're baptized, you pray, whatnot, you open the Bible. For me, as I said, I did not understand. I even took the Holy Bible and started reading it like a book. I won't understand. And that's why you find many people, they don't have any urge to read it. It will just lay there and you get a Bible. It will just sit there for the rest of your life because you don't understand it. But came to a point when I was now seeking and craving Him. Then I received Christ in my life. Because you see, in the olden days, yeah, and the well, I'll explain that in the next video, yeah. When I now receive Christ, He baptized. Receiving Christ is a new baptism. You're then baptized with the Spirit, because He said, after the crucifixion, Christ said, yeah, that He is going to put it in your heart. He's going to write all the laws in your heart. And then He's going to send the Counselor, the Comforter, the Holy Spirit upon you. And it will now awaken your spiritual eyes to open this book, the manual, the scriptures, and you will open them and understand everything, every situation in the world. When you're born again, you can find that situation in the Holy Scriptures and read the methods, yeah, on how to overcome that, how to solve it. It's everything. Problem solver is all in the Holy Scriptures in the Bible, yeah. So I wanted to just read something here, yeah. Because when the children of Israel, were they came out of slavery, out of Egypt, they were now being led to the promised land. And as they were going along, they had to there were battles they had to fight, yeah, and conquer different nations, yeah, different nations, and continue to their promised land. Some of these nations, yeah, so these nations were all living on the land, that they were supposed to occupy. So they had to go into battle with these nations. So in Numbers, in the Holy Bible, in Numbers 22, I would suggest, I'm not going to read the whole of it, but I would suggest, you read Numbers chapter 22, the whole of 22, and the whole of 23, and the whole of 24. So read Numbers chapter 22, 23, and 24, all of it. But I will just read a bit, because this is just to give you an example of how I can look at situation in the world and read the Holy Scriptures and gain some understanding and merge it into a situation that we are going through or someone else is going through, right? So now they had conquered quite a number of tribes, nations. So they came to the plains of Moab. So I'm going to read 22. So it says Balak. Balak was I think he was the king. He was the king of Moab. So 22, I'll start from verse 1, which says, Then the Israelites traveled to the plains of Moab and camped along the Jordan across from Jericho. Now Balak, son of Zippor, saw all that Israel had done to the Amorites, and Moab was terrified because there were so many people. Indeed, Moab was filled with dread because of the Israelites. The Moabites said to the elders of Midian, This horde is going to lick up everything around us as an ox licks up the grass of the field. So Balak, son of Zippor, who was king of Moab at that time, sent messengers to summon Balaam, son of Beor, who was at Petor, near the river in his native land. Balak, King Balak of Moab, said, A people has come out of Egypt. They cover the face of the land and have settled next to me. Now come and put a curse on these people, because they are too powerful for me. Perhaps then I'll be able to defeat them and drive them out of the country. For I know that those you bless are blessed, and those you curse are cursed. So I'm going to stop there. Read the whole of chapter 22, 23, and 24. So I'm just going to break it down for you there. So Balak, the king of Moabites, he knows of Balam. So Balam is a spiritual person who is blessed by the Almighty. As he said here, for I know that those you bless are blessed and those you curse are cursed. So Balak, he sent messengers because he had already heard that the Israelites, this nation was so strong. Wherever they go, they're conquering one nation after another. So now they had camped near his location, and he was now worried. They're going to take us down like they've taken everyone prior to coming here. So he said this, Now come and put a curse on these people, because they are too powerful for me. Now he says to Balaam, because he believes that Balaam has the power. Let me say physical power. He doesn't believe, or he didn't really think that the power that Balaam has is from the Almighty. As many people in this world today think that they're doing okay, they're doing it by their will, not knowing it's the Almighty who has the power over everything. Let me tell you this. I haven't read in the hidden scriptures, the scriptures that are not included in the Bible. It is written that even the devil himself, his power. He is only able because the Spirit of the living God, the Almighty, is within him. And if the Almighty did not agree, he would not be able to do nothing. Yeah. So now Balak thinks Balam, yeah, has this power to bless and curse, not thinking that let me turn to the Almighty, because he didn't know the God of Israel. He was one of them people who's always like worshiping idols. Yeah. So he thought he would turn to Balaam and bring him over, probably pay him some good money and say, okay, now curse them. Or yeah, curse them. So he said, he saw that they were so powerful. He saw it and he has heard it. Yeah. So he's saying, come and help me curse them, that I will be able to conquer them. So then you read the whole of 22, 23, and 24, where he sends out messengers. They went, and then Balaam said he prayed and spoke to the Almighty, and the Almighty told him what he should do or what he should say. And it turns out now that when he started to go to when he went now to Balak, it happened 5 times. 5 times. Balak would take him somewhere and say, okay, now curse them. And everything that came out of Balaam's mouth was a blessing. He said, okay, took him to another angle, said, now curse them. Balaam would start speaking, and instead of a curse, blessings came upon the children of Israel. It happened 5 times. He took him to another place and another place and another place. Every time he said curse them, a blessing came out. So this is something that we see in life today, yeah? That I was telling someone. I was like, I used to live a life where when situations come, it takes me down. I'm afraid, fearful, crying and all that. And because I was seeing the problems, I was seeing the problems with the eyes of man, yeah, not in the spiritual realm, because when we are born again, we are now citizens of a spiritual kingdom, not of this world. So whatever we do on earth, yeah, we first start to intercede, yeah, and see how it aligns in the spiritual realm, then it manifests in the physical realm. So I would see a problem, and for example, I would there were times that I wanted to apply for a job, and obviously I see a job, I see the vacancy, I open, and then I start to read. And I know many of you are also would sort of like connect to that, or where you start to read the criteria, what do you need to have, yeah, in order to be able to fulfill that role that that they've advertised for. And sometimes I would see a job, I'll be like, yeah, I like to do this, and then I go and start reading, oh, you have to have this qualification and this I could just see a problem after another. I would just, ooh, I'd get scared, like, oh my God, I can't do it. Look what they expect me to bring in this package, that would already make me get scared, and I get turned off, and I say, no, I scroll to the next vacancy. And it's the same as well with situations in life. It might be a problem has come out, and we tend to look at the problem and already start to get afraid, start to panic, start to have nervous breakdowns, start to weep and struggle, and then sometimes back in the day, sometimes if I see something, I would first neglect it. And the more I neglected it, the more the problem grew bigger and bigger. I know there's some people who say, like, parking tickets, for example, just pay it off or put an appeal. Yeah. But then you say, okay, let me just leave. I'm not going to respond. And then you find that the penalty charge keeps increasing by the day. So we see problems with the eye of man. Yeah. So I say, like, Balak saw the Israelites. There's so many people. He says, so many people. And I have heard they have conquered A, B, C, D. So the problem was already big, big, big. Yeah. So he's now looking for Balaam to come and curse these people so that he can be able to go out in battle and win the battle. He's thinking through the curse, it will sort of make the problem become smaller, yeah? Weaken them, weaken the problem, yeah? So that he can just come and conquer. But here's the beautiful thing about the word of the Almighty. You see, they say that there is power in the tongue. They usually say that there is power in the tongue. When you speak, you have to speak good things upon life, good things upon yourself, good things upon the people around you. Yeah. And this is for anyone out there who hasn't tamed their tongue to start speaking good things about themselves, good things about other people, good things about situation. Yeah. By you speaking, you will make that problem even either get smaller or turn out, yeah, turn out as a blessing that will glorify the Almighty. So I say, I see problems with the eyes of Balak. Every time I see anything with the eyes of Balak, I let my mouth speak with the words of Balaam. So I want each and every one of you to read through these chapters 22, 23, and 24 and think again. Whenever you see a situation in your life through the eyes of Balak, yeah, remember, speak the words of Balaam. Bless what you see, and it will turn into a blessing in your life. Because sometimes there are things that have happened to me, yeah, that I thought, oh my God, this one is gonna take me down. And the way he changed it, it just lifted me higher. That there was a time I was so like, I was addicted. I was like, bring it on, bring it on, bring it on. I just want to. I was going on about like, Lord, oh, my Father, Almighty Father. I need to see more of this, because every time, yeah, I see something with the eyes of Balak, when the enemy brings anything into my eyes and I see it as Balak, hey, I'm going to speak words of Balaam, and the devil is going to be ashamed again that this time, again and again and again, she has claimed through the Almighty, yeah, victory. So that was what I thought of saying today. One of the little advice, or little one of the few one of the many, yeah, situations in the world that I can relate to in the Bible. Very simple. And once again, very simple. Whenever you see anything with the eyes of Balak, do not panic. Do not call A, B, C, D. Start to speak the words of Balaam, and your life will drastically change. Sometimes within hours, within minutes. You will start to see what it means, to live in a world of flesh and blood and conquer everything on earth through the spiritual realm. So God bless you all. May the Almighty Father continue to guide you all, lead you all. I hope you all start to crave Him, crave and thirst for the eternal, ever-flowing living waters, that you may be filled, totally filled, soaked in His glory. And please do continue to share the love, the gospel, and drop comments. Please drop comments, advice. I would love to share experiences as well. Please, if you have any experience, share it. I'm planning to open a podcast, so we can have interviews, live interviews, that we might hear other stories as well. So I hope you all put me in your prayers that manifests, because this is my bit of sharing the good news, and this is my bit of offering my service for the kingdom of the Almighty. So be blessed and much love, and take care till we meet again. Bye.